Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Unnamed Sports Show. I'm your host Ryan, joined by Jason and Jerry. How we doing today, fellas?
Doing good, doing good.
Doing pretty good, man. How are you?
Oh, fantastic! We got a heck of a show for you guys today, as well as we're going to end the show a little bit early, take a quick break, and then come back for a happy hour and a draft watch tacular. I just made that up on the spot. But going through
Love it.
some of the first round, I doubt we stay for the entire first round of the draft, but we'll be here going through the picks, discussing what we think, who should be next, talking about all the surprises. So after the show, be sure to come back, join us here on YouTube. Should be a blast. Before we get started, don't forget to like, subscribe, and follow us on our social media at Unnamed Sports S. We're on X, we're on Instagram, we're on TikTok, and then you can also rate and review us and like us wherever you listen to your podcast. It'll be uploaded the next day. So, gentlemen, massive day. We got the NBA draft. We got game 3 for the Cavs, Knicks,
Woo!
76ers,
Oh,
and
rewind,
the
rewind.
Lakers. And
Talk
what?
about
NFL
the
draft.
NBA
What?
draft.
You said NBA draft.
I didn't know. I said NFL draft.
Nah, dog.
Nah, you guys don't listen. We're gonna go back and check that, and you guys be, oh, you were right. You did say NFL draft.
These
All
are one
right.
of
Yeah,
those sweet moments where I'd like 1,000% know you're wrong, and I'm just gonna rub it in your face. So you have
I
you have
can't
your
wait.
time to take it back.
I can't
How
wait. We're
about
gonna go back.
we'll bet a shot on it for the happy hour. We'll watch the
Sounds
tape
good.
back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll rewatch the tape. All right, but we'll just cut this whole first portion out as we have the entire time. So we have the NFL draft, National Football League, and then also today we have Cavs Magic game 3, Knicks 76ers game 3, and out on the West Coast, the Nuggets and Lakers game 3. It is now for the lower seeds, their chance for 2 games here at home. Lots going on today, lots to get to, and I'm excited. I'm excited for tonight. I'm excited for what the NBA draft will bring. Think any big surprises are coming? Or you think it'll be a pretty bland first round?
I think there will be a couple of surprises here. I believe there's too much like up on the plate, like quarterbacks specifically, and then you also have elite wide receivers that are not even in the draft on teams that are asking for trades. So I feel like there's a lot to come, hopefully, and it'll be an exciting first round.
I think it's going to be. I mean, every first round is exciting every
Yeah.
year, and for the most part, well, the best part is like all of the analysts that come out afterward and grade these teams on their first round picks, and it's like, how can you give a grade? Like, we have no idea if these players are going to be good or
Right.
not.
Yep.
It's going to be a 50-50 shot or less, and we're going to say, oh well, the Jaguars, they get a C because they didn't get the guy that I thought they should have got.
hmm
Didn't
I
Pretty
I'm
mean,
wild.
pretty sure everybody gave the Panthers an A last year, and well, you see how
Yeah,
that's working out for them.
yeah, they that's good point. That's a good point. Um but we'll get to draft stuff here later. We'll get to the NFL here in a little bit. We're going to start with the NBA. Right now, the as we speak, the Mavs and Mavs. I keep saying Mavs because I think of Magic and Cavs. The Cavs and Magic. That's their like
Yeah.
celebrity couple name is the Mavs. The Magic and Cavs are literally about to tip off as we speak. Um, Again, 2 other massive games. We'll start over in the Eastern Conference, and we'll start with the game that was last night, or the series that had a game last night. The Celtics Heat. Celtics and Heat tied at 1 right now. Jason, what are you seeing in this matchup? Do you think that the Celtics being able to steal, or I'm sorry, the Heat being able to steal one away is bodes well for them going forward? They have a chance to stretch this out to 6, 7 games, or was it just a bad night for the Celtics and they're going to clean up here the next 3 games?
I think it was just a bad night. You get 6 points from Porzingis, who's been kind of your difference maker, taking this step from last year to this year. Not to play well. I don't think that's going to continue to happen. I think it'll be a lot more like the first game. Also, the Heat being able to shoot a lot of threes. Are they going to be able to continue to do that? I don't think so. But I mean, the Celtics do give up a lot of 3-point shots, but I still feel like they play a good style of basketball to play good defense. But I, I don't think the Heat can stay as consistent. Like, I believe Tyler Hero was like 5 of 5 from threes. Like, I don't think that's going to happen every game. So, yeah, I have the
Jer- Jer- Yeah, I have to agree. I think the Celtics have a bad night at home. It's no big deal. I will say, their last 26 games, they are 13-13 at home, which is
Mm.
kind of weird considering they've been a top seed for several of the last few years. So that's a little bit concerning. They obviously haven't won a championship anytime recent, anytime in the last few years recently. So, um, I think something to be concerned about, but I don't think so in this first round. Jerry, do you kind of have the same thoughts, or you think the Heat maybe can get hot here and do kind of what they did last year?
No, I think I'm like honestly shocked the Heat were even able to steal one in Boston. I think they just had an off night. Every team has them. Unfortunately, it happens in the playoffs, but the Celtics are just by far the better team, and who knows how long Jimmy Butler's going to be out for. If he's out for the rest of the series, they're not going to have any gas in the tank to compete with the Celtics.
Yeah. Yeah, I know.
So
I have to. I agree. I agree. Moving on. Knicks 76ers. This one was a surprising end. What a crazy end to game two. Celtics. I'm sorry. Oh my goodness. I'm just like saying wrong teams, wrong stuff today. I'm not sure what's wrong with me. I think maybe I need some more caffeine. The 76ers were up 2 points with less than 30 seconds left in the game. Controversial ending. I think a lot of people think that they got screwed, but there was several moments in the game that the 76ers could have extended the lead, could have
mhm.
won it, and they let the Knicks crawl back. And to the Knicks' credit, they took advantage of every single opportunity that was presented to them. They missed the three, but they were crashing the glass, got the offensive board. He sinks the three to go up one, and then they come back in, and the center for the Knicks gets a all-time block
yeah,
off
that
of
was sick.
Maxey, just fingertip off the backboard. They get the rebound, sink the two free throws. Embiid misses the tying three, and the Knicks go up 2-0. Uh, Jerry, do you think the Knicks actually are going to take these next two, and this is going to get up to a 7-game series, or do you think the Knicks right now just look like the better team? I mean, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, this is probably the most even matchup that we've seen in the playoffs so far. I mean, even though it's 2-0, we're coming down to, last possession in both games, I believe. And even game one was pretty close. I find it hard to believe that the Knicks are going to sweep, especially going back to Philadelphia here. I don't know if it goes to 7. I'm gonna say Knicks and 6 here. I think the Philly will take the next game. Next game after that, Philly gets game 5, push it to 6, but the Knicks are gonna win in Philadelphia game 6. So I think the Knicks are just playing like the better team, and Embiid is not 100% of the way there right now. It just doesn't seem like it. Like something is off with their team. They should be dominating the Knicks right now, and they're just not. So unless they pull it together, I think the Knicks going out 2-0 bodes well for them in the rest of the series.
I agree. And what's weird to me is like the 76ers. Well, first of all, back to your point about Joel Embiid. Joel Embiid looks like he's like 50% right now. He
Yeah.
is not. He's still dropping 30 from as a basically 7-foot guard that can't
Crazy.
attack the basket, like a pure shooter getting 36 a game. Like it's insane. Imagine if he could actually bump inside, he'd be eating them alive and getting rebounds. All this stuff that's really important.
Yep.
But on top of that, the Knicks just look as they did to the Cavs last year, just like a more physical, a stronger, a more dominant team right now than Philadelphia. And Jalen Brunson didn't have a good game, and they still come out and beat the 76ers. Like that's tough.
Yep.
Jason, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to agree. I think a lot of this has to do with Embiid not being fully percent. I mean, he's saying he's 80%, but yeah, like you said, he looks more like 50. And it's crazy to say that because the way he's still playing. but without him fully healthy, I don't think they can be as effective. Because even Maxi had good games. They're just not getting help from their bench really. I think they need a better performance from their bench to be able to continue to try to pull out this group.
Tobias Harris is somebody that needs to step up for them, like big time.
That too.
He is playing
Yeah.
like dog, you know what, this series.
Water.
Yeah.
Dog water,
Yeah,
exactly.
there you go.
No, I agree. He is by the way, that shot by Donovan Mitchell was just insane right there.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry.
Big Arrow 05 to start the game, by the way.
Yeah. You love to see it. Rocking the Jarrett Allen jersey. He's rocking the who are you? Darius Garland?
Spider.
Oh, Spider. Let's go. Donovan Mitchell. Anyway,
I might be a little bit behind you here.
I agree that so far the Knicks have been by far the better team. I still think the 76ers win this series. I think the Knicks are it took 2 good games at home. I think Philadelphia is going to come back. I think Embiid like we've watched the 76ers fail so many times in the playoffs. I really do think like this year they're going to find a way to get out of the first round. And this might be hopeful thinking because I don't want to play the Celtics in the second round. But having said that, I do think the 76ers end up pulling this one out. Next game in the East, the Bucks versus the Pacers tied 1-1. Giannis did Giannis play?
No, still out.
He did not play.
That's why
Giannis is
still dropped 37.
50. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's averaging like 35 a game right now, which is pretty crazy.
Yeah.
But Jason, what were your thoughts on the Bucks Pacers? Pacers won pretty handily in game 2. Do you think that again this one's one that gets out pretty far without Giannis? So what is the prognosis or the return time? Is he coming back anytime soon, or will he be out this entire first round?
I'm pretty sure he has a chance to come back, but I don't think it's 100%. Let me double check.
I think it's only if it goes super late, like game 6 or game 7.
Okay.
Yeah. But I mean, you get 34 points from Damian Lillard. He does his job. It's Dame time, but Dame time got a short clock last game. I mean, you need help from your other players. Like just like with the 76ers, you need help from your other players, and they didn't have the second half that you expected, like they did the game before. So, and really, if Siakam and why did my brain go blank? Their point guard,
Halliburton.
If Halliburton is distributing like he was last game, they can win every game. So, yeah, someone like Middleton needs to be consistent. Yeah. I know he had 23 in the first game, but I think he had
15.
15 last game, yeah.
15, 5 and 6, yeah. I just pulled it up to look, but yeah.
Cool. But yeah. If he doesn't score 20 plus, they're gonna have struggles winning games for sure.
Well, and what's interesting too is like when you're talking about the Pacers, like a 15-point game from Chris Middleton's actually pretty solid, except when you play a team that's going to drop 130 points.
Yeah.
You know, like it's just not. It's not the same. Yeah, 125 to 108. It's like 108's not necessarily a bad score, but to beat the Pacers, you got to go out and score 120. So you need the 20 from Middleton. You need these players that are averaging 10 a game to get 15 to 20 to keep pace with Indiana. So
and you need Damian Lillard to play more than one half of basketball. Like dropping 35 in the first half and then nothing. Don't get me wrong, 35 is insane in the first half, but you got to carry that momentum to the second half if you want a chance to.
Well, they won that.
That was game 1.
That was game 1. Yeah,
but he did the same thing in game 2. Got out to a hot start and then went cold. Yeah.
Yeah, he had 34 total, but I don't know what was the half splits.
I'm pretty sure he had like 20 something in the first half.
Yeah, and without Giannis, Bobby Portis needs to score more as well. 14 and 11, it's just not going to cut it. I mean, you have to. You have to have Dame score 30. Lopez had 22. That's pretty solid. Although he only had 1 rebound. That's pretty bad. Yeah, you can't. If your centers get corralling 1 rebound,
I think I think the scoring has to go to Lopez, not Portis. Portis is more of the fill the gaps, get the rebounds that like he's a good rebounder and he'll get your hustle points. But I think Lopez is the one that falls because he can shoot threes, he can play interior. I think Lopez is the one that falls to you have to get more points out of. But
He's still got 20. I don't know. Yeah, you're probably right.
I mean
It's just difficult. Yeah, it's difficult when
just
you don't have your best player.
right.
You
Yeah.
know, a
So
top 5 player in the
somebody's got to
NBA,
make up for the
best
loss
player.
somewhere.
Yeah, yeah. And right now the Bucks aren't doing. They did it game 1. We'll see if they can steal one in Indiana, so they're even coming back to Milwaukee. And at that point, maybe Giannis is back. If the Pacers win both of these, they're going to be in trouble. I think even if Giannis does come back, down 3-1 is very difficult to come back from, unless you're LeBron James in 2016. Anyway, speaking of that team, Cavs, Magic right now, Cavs are up 12-9. As I don't know if Jerry's stream is at the same pace mine is, but they lead the series 2-0. First and foremost, a little bit of a rant here. I am sick and tired of the national media skipping this game. Literally, they talk about every single other game. It's listed as what's going on in the NBA today. I saw one today on ESPN. Today in the NBA, we got Sixers Knicks at 7:30 and Lakers Nuggets at 9:30. And you're just like, "Oh, I forgot. Was there not a 4 and 5 seed that's just as important that's going on right now?" I listened to a CBS guy talk about game 2. And he goes, yeah, neither team's playing very well. They're pretty even. The score was a 10-point loss for the Magic, but it was a lot closer than that. The Cavs went on a run at the end, which is completely the opposite of what actually happened. The Cavs were up 23, and in typical Cavs fashion, allowed the Magic to come back. We went on like a 10-0 run, and then all of a sudden now it's a 9-point game. It's a 10-point game with 4 and 5 minutes left. Like, definitely not over. We're able to push forward defensively specifically, and then Donovan Mitchell came in, scored a couple buckets to ensure that we won the game. But like, they were the ones that went on a run, not us. Like, it shows that these people aren't watching the games. They do not care. They're not pushing it forward. The Cavs and Magic are both an afterthought. Like, it's a bunch of BS. Just because we don't have what? Because we don't have Luka, because we don't have Paul George and Kawhi. Like, that's the other 4 and 5 matchup. Yet they're talked about every week. Like, I'm just sick of it.
Yeah.
I'm sick of because now we don't have LeBron. Like, no one wants to talk about Cleveland anymore. I hate it. Anyway, that's my rant there. We did go to game 1. Game 1 was electric. What did you guys think of that game? All 3 of us went. It was a blast.
I mean, first of all, I don't know if we said this on the show, but late happy birthday.
Oh yes,
Yeah.
And
Yes.
then
Officially 28. Yes.
getting them grays, but it was so fun. I mean, like from what we were told from people watching on TV, like the crowd was loud and they could hear pretty much all the chants, and the aggression that the players and the fans have felt, you could feel that out there, and also getting the free shirts and the free towels. That was also pretty nice. That was pretty nice. But yeah, no, it was cool. It was a good environment for sure.
Which, by the way, I think we stole one of your and Kaylee's shirts, Jerry. Sorry about that.
It's okay. You can keep it. I don't think that one dude brought up a shirt for us, so I think we were short a shirt.
He never brought it up, and we were in the car, and I saw there was a shirt there, and I was like, "Oh yeah, I'm grabbing my shirt," but I forgot that Pauline was literally wearing mine, so she didn't have one, and I stole one. So sorry, but we're keeping it because you guys can just go to another one.
True.
Got him. Happy birthday.
Yeah, happy birthday to me, Jerry. What'd you think of the game?
Yeah, it was awesome. First of all, screw both of the freaking Wagner brothers. They are a-holes. I hate both of them. I hate them so much. They are the new I don't even know who I would compare them to, but public enemy number 1 and 2, both of them.
Draymond, Joakim Noah.
Yeah. They suck. But the game itself was awesome. The first 2 possessions, the Strus 3 and then the Mitchell 3 in transition, just absolutely blew the roof off of the place. Just absolutely nuts. The crowd was electric for 48 minutes straight. I don't think there was a single possession where people were like not getting up on their feet, chanting, yelling, screaming something. And it was awesome, and it was good to come away with the win, and then another win on Monday night. So hopefully we can grab one here in Orlando tonight. Go up 3-0.
Yeah.
We want the broom.
Exactly. Bring out your brooms. Let's get the sweep. We just hit, speaking of threes in transition. Dang right. But what I thought was, I think the unsung hero of the team, people that, again, because we're not talked about in the national media, people aren't going to talk about this, but last year, Cavs versus Knicks, Jarrett Allen in a 5-game series, because we lost 4-1, he had 11 total rebounds. Embarrassing. He was bullied. In 2 games, Magic versus Cavs, he had 38 rebounds. 38. He had 20 in the last one. He was unguardable. Not well, he had 16 and 18 points respectively, but he is unstoppable on the inside. He's ripping down. He had 10 offensive boards in the last game. Talk about a guy that has made a total turnaround, and somebody that the city of Cleveland absolutely loves. Like, they were going crazy when he was ripping down those rebounds. When he got his 20th, watching this the game last or on whatever day that was, Monday. It was again, talk about the place going crazy. So definitely our guys on the inside.
He's already at 4 rebounds tonight in the first quarter. Like, dude is just manhandling people on the inside.
It's incredible to watch. We'll speed up and get through the West here. Moving on, we had the Thunder and Pelicans play last night. Thunder up 2-0. This series is going to be without Zion, which means the Pelicans are probably going to get swept, is what my opinion of it is. I just don't think that the Pelicans have the capability to keep up with the Thunder. I mean, any differing opinions on that, guys?
No,
Jason?
Not without Zion.
Nope.
I think with
not.
Zion, they lose in 5. But I think they get swept this series.
I think with Zion, actually, I don't think that they win, but I think they push it to 6 or 7, just because I don't think. I mean, who's going to guard him on the inside? I just know he's going to get 40. Anytime that he's playing. So, like, what, Chet's going to body up Zion? Like, that's not happening. Although he did do pretty good with Valanciunas.
Yeah, he's
right.
Yeah,
He doesn't need to necessarily. I mean, obviously, they're completely different players.
Yeah.
Like, Zion is a speed also and the weight. Like, it just comes at you.
Yeah.
But that being said, you necessarily don't use Chet like that. Then you just put him on the help side to get blocks. Try to get blocks instead of one-on-one. Kind of like what the Lakers are doing with Jonas. Or
Jokic.
Yeah, Jesus Christ. Yeah, Jokic.
Nice. Yeah, we know basketball. All right, yeah, I think
do. But we're not good with names today.
I know this is a weird day for names. So OKC sweeps. I think we all think that. Moving on, next game, Nuggets Lakers. Talk about team that just can't beat this. I mean, it's insane. The Lakers have lost now 6 straight games to the Nuggets
in the playoffs. They've lost 10 straight total.
10 straight total to the Nuggets. 6 straight in the playoffs. It's just I don't know what to say. They had a 20-point lead in this last game. I mean, Jerry, go ahead. Tell us, why can't the Lakers beat the Nuggets? I don't understand.
I don't get it either, because LeBron and AD are playing very well.
Mm-hmm. And even in the game, they had D'Angelo Russell play well.
Yeah, they just cannot close it out. And it's both games too. Games 1 and 2, they all played well. Game 1 was a little bit, got a little bit away from them earlier in the game, but a 20-point lead in game 2. Coming down to the wire, you have a rebound that goes the wrong way. The Nuggets end up grabbing it. They go down, tie it with a 3-pointer. Like, I don't know what they need to get over the hump of beating this freaking team, but something's got to give. LeBron has to be LeBron James in the clutch moments in the fourth quarter and will this team to victory, because nobody else on that damn team is going to do it.
Dog made 2 threes in a row, got up by was it 9? It was 9. Like
I know.
everybody's gonna hate on him because he missed that last shot. But like, bruh, you gotta give
No,
this
I
man a
know.
little bit of help.
Yeah,
Give him
it's
something.
been the story of his whole career. LeBron doesn't have any help. LeBron, can't do it by himself, and he's doing all he can by himself to will this team to victory. The team just sucks. Like they suck
They
compared
just
to
have
the
no
Nuggets.
bench.
The Nuggets are probably the deepest team in the NBA with the best team or the best player in the league right now in Jokic, and like unless you have a bench and a good supporting cast, you're not beating the Nuggets. You're just not going to do it. You're going to run out
Yeah.
of gas and they're going to catch up to you. And it's happened in games 1 and 2. Happened in all 4 games last year too, because the Nuggets put up a fight in every single game. But something's got to give, man, or else LeBron's gonna be out of there eventually, man. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. It sucks to see, honestly, because I love LeBron. I want to see him do well, but they got to beat this team somehow.
I'm with you. By the way, it took 50 minutes. More than that. Sorry, it took 48, like 100 minutes. But the Mavericks have their first lead in
Magic.
the series. What'd I say?
Mavericks.
Oh my
Again.
God. What is wrong with me? All right, we're ending the show early. I'm just gonna get off. This is terrible. Oh my God.
We're not
The
ending the
Magic.
show. Don't leave, person.
Yeah.
Oh, good Lord. I don't know what's wrong with me today. I'm sorry, team. This is just looking like LeBron out here with all my failing.
Oh
No, I'm just joking.
Hey,
No, I'm
everybody.
with you. The one thing that did bug me was that after the game, LeBron went on and complained about the refs. And I'm just like, dude, you had a 20-point lead. It's not like, sure, you want to complain maybe a couple calls here and there, but that's not why you lost the game. You lost the game because you squandered a 20-point second half lead. Like, no ifs, ands, or buts about it. And so that bugged me a little bit, but yeah, I just think the Lakers just don't have a bench. So
Yep.
even when they're starters, even when D'Lo's hitting 7 threes, it's still just not quite enough. The next game in the Western Conference, the Timberwolves versus the Suns. I think probably the other game that people really aren't talking about a ton. They're in a similar sense as the Cavs and Magic.
Good work.
We're
back,
thank
baby.
you. We're back. We're all the way back.
Oh God.
But it's just sorry, I got distracted by the Cavaliers missing. It's the other one that people aren't talking a lot. The Timberwolves right now up 2-0 in a game where Ant-Man does not really have that great of a game. He still had 18 points. He didn't have a bad game, but was 1 for 9 at one point, just not his typical production. You still lose, and again, McDaniels, what was that? Jaden McDaniels outscores KD. Going off of what you were talking about that he said. I just the Suns, I think, are in a little bit of a world of hurt right here. What do you think, Jason?
Yeah, I didn't see in these last 2 games what I thought I was going to see from the Suns. I thought it was going to be a more veteran team out there, outscoring the great defense that the Timberwolves play, but they haven't been able to. And like you said, they got KD, but they got Jaden McDaniels, and that man's been slowing down Kevin Durant. I won't say stop. Last game, you might be able to say stop, but slowing down at least Kevin Durant, and it's been able to give them a scoring option. So if you have that from your 4th best player on your team, you're going to win some series for sure.
I absolutely agree. I think the Timberwolves not quite as all around dominant as the Nuggets, but they do remind me in a sense because like across the board, they just have really good players and they're pretty deep. Like they're a really good squad, and they were the number 1 defensive squad this year for a reason. And they're right now looking like they're just a bigger, tougher, stronger team than the Suns. Jerry, what are your thoughts?
Yeah. I mean, when you have 1/3 of your big three and Bradley Beal not playing well at all. Even if you have KD and Devin Booker on your team, the way the Timberwolves are playing right now, they're just bigger. They are a stronger, I think, more well-rounded team, and that team is going to prevail most of the time. That's why they're up 2-0, and I think the Suns are cooked. I think it's I wouldn't be surprised to see the Timberwolves sweep the series the way they've been playing. I mean, they were the number one seed for a lot of the season coming into the playoffs. Obviously, they fell out, dropped to 3. So they're one hell of a team, and they're gonna be a tough out for anybody in these playoffs.
Yeah, I agree, and I think that they definitely. I don't think it'll be quite a sweep. I think KD goes off for like 45, 50 in a game or something, and they end up taking one.
Also,
but
the Suns are playing like really, really bad basketball. A lot of isolation. Nobody can really facilitate the ball. They're really missing a true point guard. Imagine if they had CP3 still, huh? Crazy.
Yeah.
But nobody to facilitate the basketball. So and that's why I'm saying the Timberwolves are just well rounded. They have that guy that can do that. They can score from pretty much anywhere on the court. And their offense is a lot more fluid.
Yeah, and it actually reminds me a little bit of watching the Magic play. Similarly, they don't have anyone that can shoot, and everything is just isolation ball and fast offensive fast breaks. And I see the same thing in the Suns. Now the Suns are a better offensive team than the Magic, obviously, but when you don't have anybody that's drive kicking, and when you're trying to, let's say you're playing that ISO ball, KD, if you're forcing KD to take contested threes the entire time and not letting anybody attack the rim because you have Cat and Gobert down low, like that is tough to beat. You have to be shooting really well from the field and playing really good defense to get some fast break points to win that game. So I agree with you. I think Timberwolves win. Jason, you talked about it already. I think we'll move on here to the last one, a team I've mentioned about 7 times already, the Mavericks.
The Magic.
The Magic. No, the Mavericks and Clippers both tied at 1. Clippers are the 4 seed, right? They're the home. They were home. Okay. So they won the first game in very easy, dominating fashion, holding the Mavericks to 8 points in the second quarter of that game. It was pretty ridiculous. And they didn't have Kawhi. So things were looking pretty frustrating for the Mavericks. And then the Mavericks turn around. They get Kawhi back, and the Mavericks turn around and beat the Clippers in a game that, if I'm not mistaken, I only tuned in a couple times. I just watched some of the highlights, but it seemed to me like the Mavericks were kind of out in front for most of this game. Is that right, Jason, Jerry?
Yes, they were. I'm gonna be honest. I didn't watch the game much either. I was more checking it on my phone, watching the game cast. But yeah, it looked like the Mavericks were out in front pretty much the entire game.
Let's check. Let's not be wrong. Let's check.
But I find it hard. Scoring game. I find it hard to believe because Kawhi's been out since the end of March. I find it hard to believe he all of a sudden comes back and is 100%. There's just no way. And I mean, don't get me wrong. I will take a 75-80% Kawhi Leonard on my team any day of the week. Dude's a freaking monster, and I'm sure it'll take a little bit for him to get back in rhythm. But I think this series is going 7. Like, these two teams are just matched up against each other so well that, like I said, coming into the playoffs, this was my favorite series that I was most excited for outside of the Cavs, obviously. But like, this is the marquee matchup, I think.
Yeah, I agree. So to answer the question, so Mavericks had a 5-point lead at half, 5-point lead at the end of the first, 5-point lead at half, tie ball game at the end of the third, and then, or no, I'm sorry, they were down 1 at the end of the third, and then ended up winning by 3. So actually a pretty back and forth game. I just when I was looking was kind of at the end of the first quarter, into the first half stuff where it looked like the Mavericks were out in front, not by a lot, but just out in front for most of it. But it actually seemed to be pretty back and forth. Regardless, I agree with you. Jason, your thoughts on this game before we switch up to a very abbreviated NFL. We talked a lot about the NBA. We didn't. I was scared this was going to happen, but what happened, whatever. We'll have the whole draft to go over NFL stuff. So
hey, it's the playoffs,
your thoughts on this?
baby. It's the playoffs.
Exactly. Playoffs. We're talking about the playoffs. I'm gonna be like you guys. I didn't watch much of the game either. I mean, I think Kawhi.
Marquee matchup. Yeah, we didn't really watch it.
I was busy, man.
Look, same. I was trying to do jazz stuff. All right. Anyways, from what I did watch though, Kawhi looked kind of bad. Was missing a lot of shots. I think they kind of need to stick with the same game plan that they had in season, and again, Harden distribute more, and that's when they're more successful. I think Kawhi was just trying to get into a rhythm, but first game back. I mean, maybe that changes next game, but we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see for sure. That wraps up our coverage of the NBA. Right now, the Cavs are down 8 points, but they just got called for a ticky tack foul, BS, whatever. Hopefully, they can get out to a 3-0 lead and, like we talked about, get those brooms out. Let's switch up now to the NFL. We have the NFL draft tonight. In honor of the NFL draft, Jason, who this is his favorite time of the year. This is the time of year he is looking forward to. This is Christmas for him. It's the NFL draft. Jacksonville was so bad for so long. This is the only hope that they had. Cleveland, so bad for so long. Used to be my favorite part. Now I don't. We haven't had a first round pick in 3 years, so I'm not too excited anymore. But he's went through and made a mock draft, and we're gonna kind of utilize what we've been doing, which is taking two teams, one from the AFC, one from the NFC, going north, south, east, west, and what we would do in the offseason. We're going to kind of parlay that together with his mock draft, kind of different things that these teams should be looking at. We are on the NFC and AFC East here. So that's the Bills, Patriots, Jets, Dolphins in the AFC East, and then the Cowboys, Giants, Commanders, and Eagles in the NFC East. So without further ado, Jason, lead us off here with your 2024 mock draft. And this is going to lead us up. We're going to hopefully finish this up a little bit before 8 o'clock, take a little bit of a break, and then come back for the draft itself. So go ahead, Jason. What do you got for us?
Yeah. We're live. I'm just kidding. For the first pick in the NFL draft, I have the Chicago Bears selecting quarterback out of USC, Caleb Williams. This is probably the easiest mock pick to ever do. He's the best quarterback in the draft. The Bears traded their quarterback to go get one. So Caleb Williams won the Heisman in 2022, and I believe he will continue his success in the NFL.
Do you think there's any sort of what are your hesitations on him? I mean, obviously, I don't think anybody suspects any last second changes at the first pick. Like Caleb Williams is going to go number one for sure. But playing devil's advocate, what are some of the things that you think would deter someone from drafting Caleb Williams number one?
I mean, it's his ability to throw under pressure. I mean, yes, he's very athletic and can move, but dude took a lot of sacks last year, and sometimes you just got to get the ball out of your hands. So holding onto the ball a little bit for too long and then being able to create plays. I mean, he's able to do that. It's just it took a dive from his junior to senior year.
Mm-hmm.
My thought was I feel like the off-schedule plays, which is most of the big plays that he makes, are not going to be possible at the NFL level. And he doesn't play in schedule enough, in my opinion. Like what makes CJ Stroud, I thought, like we all called, at least people that watched Ohio State called this. Like I thought I watched Bryce Young and I watched CJ Stroud. And Bryce Young made so many plays off schedule in a good SEC conference, but that's not the NFL. Whereas CJ was very much in schedule, in tempo a lot, and then could occasionally break the pocket, make the play, run downfield. Like I was like, okay, that's a guy that I think could make NFL throws. Caleb Williams reminds me a little bit of a more athletic, bigger Bryce Young, where it's like he can make those crazy off-schedule plays, and he's definitely got better arm talent. Like I think he's definitely the better player than Bryce Young. I'm not trying to say that, but I think that the ability to make those plays will come a lot easier at the college level than when you got Nick Bosa or Aiden Hutchinson in his own conference twice a year, like trying to chase him down.
Yeah, no, I agree. You need some of that in the NFL nowadays. It can't be your every play. It can't be your every down. And it's good to see him able to do it. It's just, yes, like you said, he has to do it a little bit less and try to make plays on pace.
Gotcha. All right. Number 2 pick. What do you got for us?
Well, the number 2 pick in the NFL draft, the Washington Commanders get their future star QB, Jaden Daniels from LSU, the Heisman winner from 2023. This guy is the exact definition of dual threat. He can kill you on the ground. He can kill you in the air. Honestly, probably one of my favorite prospects coming out of this draft. While he does use his legs a lot, it's not like it's to create and he gets sacked. It's more of I'm making the right decision to run and I'm going to kill you doing it. And then he has patience in the pocket. The issue with him, you can say maybe is play style. How are they gonna his plays that he ran in college? Are they gonna be able to convert into the NFL? Because you're not gonna always have an open wide receiver. So what are you gonna do now? But that being said, that could also play to his advantage because good legs.
Right. I think the biggest knock that I've seen on him is just like physical size. Like he's pretty skinny.
Yep.
And then
He takes
arm talent.
He takes a lot of hits too. He has to learn how to slide in the NFL.
Yeah, that too, definitely. I mean, you look at RG3, he wasn't able to keep up his body because he didn't slide ever. But if he starts sliding, I think he'll be fine. I completely disagree with the arm talent. I mean, like the receivers that he had, like you could see he was able to use them well. So like I'm gonna disagree with the arm talent one, but I do agree he does take a couple hits that he doesn't need to.
Just from what I've read and from I mean,
I know.
I mean, he's throwing to similar to what CJ Stroud. Like I bring it back to that because Ohio State's what I watch the most of. But when you watch Justin Fields or CJ Stroud, they're throwing to wide open guys because we had amazing receivers. LSU's the same way; they have amazing offense, amazing receivers. So it's hard to be like, can he fit the ball into a tight window? Well, he hasn't had to throw much into a tight window. But
Sure.
my thought, from what I've read, is just that it's not. It's kind of just average arm talent. So that was my only thought. But it coming up, we got the number 3 pick. I assume going to be another quarterback. That's what everyone's saying.
It is another quarterback. Now, what I will say, I do believe there could be a trade here. If there's a trade anywhere, and the top 3, I think 1 and 2 are secure. If there's going to be a trade in the top 3, it's here for the Patriots. From what I've heard rumors that they don't necessarily, if it's Drake May, they might not be sold there. So we'll see. But that being said, for our mock draft, it's going to be Drake May. And this was probably the most confusing film I've ever watched in my life. You're talking about off schedule. This man is always off schedule. I've never seen someone run around as much other than maybe Johnny Manziel. Like, it was circle, 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 throw. And this is a senior film. This is a senior film. His junior film was a little bit better, had better weapons, but you're not always going to have that. Patriots definitely don't have that. So it's like, I'm a little worried about Drake May. I ain't going to lie. He's very off scheduled. Now he does make some amazing throws, but who also made some amazing throws off schedule? Zach Wilson. We saw that one.
Yeah, he's for who's he playing for now? I can't remember.
Oh, Gary, you know?
Very true. He'd be like, yeah, it's Zach Wilson.
Hopefully he gets the same number.
That'd be so funny if he does.
Yeah, tough.
That's not gonna happen.
Tough. But for our next pick, this is the best player in the draft.
I agree. I think
No bias.
even no bias though, like obviously no bias. I think it's the first pick and maybe the only pick where you can go, that guy's gonna be a
stud.
true stud in the NFL.
He's the most complete player, and that's because his name is Marvin Harrison Jr. He like I said, most complete player in this draft is fast, is tall, is lengthy, goes up and get it, is the best route runner in the draft. Hasrack wasn't really able to show that maybe because of a quarterback Ohio State had last year. But I mean, it's not his.
What's wrong?
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Marvin Harrison Jr.
Most complete player, has the height, has the weight, has the speed, has the best route running in the NFL draft right now. I think this is probably the most complete prospect we've seen in a while come out. And Dad being able to see what you need to make it to the NFL because he's one of also the hardest workers Ohio State has seen in a while.
Absolutely, I think he's an absolute stud. I hate to do this to you, Jason, but we got 12 minutes till draft coverage starts, so I think maybe kind of rapid fire here to get through your first round.
All right, speed burst. Like this guy, number 5, Malik Neighbors. He is height, weight, speed. And then the Giants. This is going to be the pick where they could have a trade as well, but they're going to, in our mock draft, go for bum JJ McCarthy. For number 7, the Giants. We have the best offensive lineman in this draft, third most, ready player to be in the NFL, Joe Alt, Notre Dame. We've seen Notre Dame offensive lineman. For pick 8, Falcons. This is probably the highest ceiling for a defensive prospect. Dallas Turner. He is the edge out of Alabama. Solid. Had 10 sacks his senior year. 4, pick number 9. The Bears. Add another weapon, because why not? Make sure your quarterback's ready to play. Rome Dunze, the second best route runner in this draft class. Washington receiver. For pick number 10, we have offensive lineman. Why we have to do this rapid fire? Alumuwai Fashanu. I believe that's his name.
Olufashanu.
Thank you. Penn State offensive tackle, 6'6", 5'12", 312. Sorry.
5'12", a big boy.
Huge guy. He is, I think, he looks good He looks good. He's what you want for your tackle. Big, tall, fast, strong. But I don't know if he's going to be that good. I'm calling my bust alert here with Drake May. Vikings Lau Latu, edge out of UCLA. This is a guy, best fundamentals out of any defensive player. Ready to start day one. Number 12, the Denver Broncos have one guy that's ever experienced playing offensive tackle playing for them right now. They need another offensive tackle. We're getting the second best offensive tackle in the draft from Oregon State, Talis Fuaga. For number 13, we have Quinyon.
Sorry,
What?
Jason. Jerry's just shaking his head no.
We're not taking a tackle.
They're taking a tackle. They literally, again, one offensive lineman with any game experience. I believe he played a little bit this year, and other than that, they're taking a tackle. Raiders, Quinyon Mitchell, cornerback out of Toledo, highest riser in the draft from last year to this year. Played completely locked down defense on the Senior Bowl, and that's when you play your best competition. Probably his best competition playing at Toledo, and ran a 4.33. We have Saints, Brock Bowers, tight end from Georgia, second most complete player in this draft. Third would be Caleb Williams for me. Sorry. Third I said was Joe Alt. Let's go third, Caleb Williams, 4 J Alt. Brock Bowers is just a beast. He's everything you need in a tight end, and probably the second best prospect we've seen out of tight end in the last decade. Colts go with the most solidified corner in this draft, Terrion Arnold. Showed up very well at the combine. Did every drills perfectly. He ran a 4.5, not that fast, but he has the height to make up for it, and knows how to play with his range. Seahawks get the second best offensive lineman in this draft. I don't think he'll go here, honestly. Jackson Powers Johnson, dominant. When you watch a offensive lineman film, what do you want to see? Then bury someone. This man buries everyone he puts his hands on. Probably the most dominant player in this draft. On the offensive side, I'll say that. Jaguars pick number 17, Brian Thomas. Do I think he'll fall this low? God, I hope so. Or I hope we get a trade. We'll see what happens. I hope he drops this low. If he drops this low, we got a number one receiver because this man is 6'3", 209 pounds, running 4.33 with a 38.5-inch vertical freak. If he played for any other team, he would be up there in the conversation of these top three receivers. Drops a little bit because he's behind neighbors and didn't get that much to show for. But still had 1,000 yards, so let's not like hate on the guy. But 18 Bengals, Brian Murphy, defensive tackle, probably the defensive tackle with the highest projection here. I think he's the most solidified, ready to play. 6 foot, runs a 4.87 at 297 pounds. Do we need to say any more? Probably not.
No.
Rams, Jared Verse, defensive end. This man is 6'4", 254 pounds. He runs a 4.58, bench 31. You know how much the defensive tackle that weighs 297 bench? 28. All right, 4 reps, 40 pounds lighter.
Damn.
Is a freak. Is a freak.
That's insane.
Steelers draft offensive tackle Troy Fatuanu. I hope so. He's a mauler. He's a mauler. He needs to work on his feet and his hand placement, but dominant player there.
What's funny is that even though we're screwing it up a bunch tonight, it'll happen as well. The actual
Oh, yeah.
draft.
Oh,
We'll
yeah.
screw up
Absolutely.
these names several
Yeah.
times. So
Absolutely. I'm gonna run through these a little faster. We got a couple more minutes. Try to get that break in. Jason Latham, probably my question mark at the offensive tackle position. But from Alabama, you know how these Alabama boys are fed. Clemson, cornerback for the Eagles. Nate Wiggins gets drafted. They need help at DB. They're going to draft best available there. Michael Penix, the most underrated player in this draft class. This is my second favorite quarterback in the class. Michael Penix is criminal being at 23. The Cowboys draft offensive tackle Amarius Mims. Honestly, I think Mims is better, but not rated as high as the last offensive tackles that we have on mock draft. I would have him at 20 if it was like me just making the decision for these guys. But solid player. Cooper DeJean has dropped because of injuries. Has dropped because what position does he play? Corner, safety. Oh, dropped because
he's white.
he's white. Would be probably the third best cornerback in this draft. Second best cornerback in this draft if it was just off of film in his combine, but it wasn't able to perform in the combine. But this guy can kick return, play corner. He could play safety. It might be his best position, but he's still, if he played corner, would be dominant. All right, next pick. Ryan likes this one because I believe this is who he picked for them. Edge, out of Penn State, Chop Robinson for the Buccaneers.
Oh, yeah.
Freak. That's all we needed.
Raw, but freak. Yeah.
Cardinals, defensive tackle out of Illinois. It was hard for me to say Murphy has the highest projection because I think Newton has the highest projection. This man, big, fast, strong as well. These defensive tackles, they eating something different out there. For the Bills, we have wide receiver out of Texas, Adonai Mitchell. Another guy that slips probably only because the people ahead of him were that much better. Still solid, 6'2", big guy, fast, ran a 4.38, I want to say. Solid. We have Kool-Aid McKinstry out of Alabama, cornerback, guy that dropped, again, injury issues. We don't know what he's going to be coming out of that, but solid player, has been a star since his freshman year. The Ravens go Keon Coleman. Keon Coleman is your typical get up and go get that ball. That man is 6'4", ran a 4.6. Who cares? You can see it in the film. He's fast enough to play out there. He's going to go up and get the ball. Offensive tackle. This was a homer pick. Jordan Morgan, probably going to be in the early second round, but this is fundamentally one of the most talented offensive tackles I've seen. Knows how to play ball. And the Chiefs, everyone put a to you know what I'm saying? They get wide receiver Xavier Worthy out of Texas, ran
Please
a
no.
4.2
Please no.
to the record in the NFL Combine. 4.21, sorry, record in the NFL Combine, and is the third best route runner in this draft class, and no one will admit it. Maybe fourth. I like Loud, but he's not just a speed merchant. This is not John Ross. This guy knows how to play ball, and that is our 2024 mock draft.
I love it. Great
work,
job,
Jason.
Jason. Way to take the reins on this one. And we know this is your favorite time of the year. We're glad to see what you were able to put together. We're gonna come back here at 8 o'clock, maybe a little bit after 8. Take a quick break for after hours and reaction to the draft. Thank you so much for joining our episode today. I know we're cutting it short, but please don't forget to like, subscribe, follow us on our social media at Unnamed Sports S, and please join us here for the happy hour. It's going to be a good time. We're going to get a little bit more time to kind of talk about these players, but who we think's coming, the surprises, talk about how the Cavs are just totally blowing this game 3, and more. So we'll see you here soon.
Yeah, stay
Thanks.
tuned,
Have a
guys.
drink.
It'll be a little more free flowing. We'll interact with the chat more and be able to talk a little more. So yeah, stay tuned.